Right, it's Tuesday, the day after I put the pump in, with no float switch, so maybe it's come up, maybe a little bit of that clay has collapsed. That's not good. Maybe I do need to put a float switch in. It rained a bit more last night than what I thought it was going to. Anyway, I'll go and turn the pump on and see if it works. Going down slowly. Alright, still going down. It's down past the bottom of the shovel. You can see the rock on top of the tin. And that's the noise it makes when it runs out of water. But one day I'll get a float switch. This is the frame that I made to go around the outside of the collar. It's 1300 by 1500, which is the outside of the collar. So the idea is I put this around the hole and drop the string down, and it'll help me keep a nice square straight hole as I go down. Then once I've done that, I can probably remove this and then put in the shoring, or the formwork for the concrete, which will be, I think, 150 mil thick. So the 1.3 becomes 1 meter this way, and the 1.5 becomes 1.2. So 150 there, 150 there, means 300 less. And I've got to put second bolts in the corners once I square it up. Alright, both bolts are in. So all four corners got 2 bolts. These little blocks here, this is actually upside down at the moment. When these are in, the idea is I get one of these, bang it into the ground like that, and screw it in to this block to try and hold this frame into position. That's the pointiest I could cut on my saw, so hopefully it'll bang in. If not, I'll do something else. It's going to sit something like this, so it shows where I've got to dig down straight from the edge, inside edge of this rectangle frame is where I've got to dig down. So it's quite a bit of dirt to come out, which makes sense because I want to have a 150 mil thick collar, and I want it to be nice and square as I can get it. So if I try and get it square, at least it might end up almost square. And then like I said, these are the little chocks. I'll put the spikes in so I can hold the thing to the ground so it doesn't move around too much. I've got to dig out a fair bit at the back because that's the slope I keep telling you about. It's I don't know, 5 degrees. I'll get a spirit level in a minute and show you, but I've got to dig out basically along there and back and along there to sit the frame in. Then once I've got the frame in and the pegs in, have it all sort of stabilized, then I can start digging down, and yeah, like I said, nice and square down there. If you can see, I'll try and zoom in. Some more of the clay is sort of washed out from the last rain, so even though I didn't let the water level get too high, it did get up a bit because it really poured down one day. It still managed to wash some more of the clay out, so it's obviously still coming out. So that's level, and I'll measure the length from there to there and the height, and it'll give us the gradient. Okay, so it's 900 long and the height is 170. So 170 by 900. I'm going to do a bit of trigonometry and work out that angle or gradient, whatever you want to, whichever way you want to talk about it. I'll do that. And there it is from a different angle. So it's a bit of digging, not too much, but a little bit of digging to get the frame flat, level. And once I've done that, then I can dig it further down. Alright, remember it was 900 long by 170 down. There's your 900, your 170. So tan of the angle, I call it theta, is the opposite over adjacent. That's the opposite there. Adjacent. So this distance here is opposite to the angle. And this one's adjacent to the angle, and this one's the hypotenuse. But we don't care what that is. It just is. So tan of this angle equals the opposite over the adjacent, 170 over 900. So the angle is the inverse tan, 170 over 900. You stick that in your calculator, and you get 10.7 degrees. So 10.7 degrees in there. If you want to work out the gradient, it's the rise over the run multiplied by whatever horizontal distance you want to compare it to. In this case, I'm using a meter, 1,000 millimeters. Work that out, 189, which means every meter you travel, or every meter you go in a horizontal distance, you'll rise by 189 millimeters. And if it's a negative gradient, you'll go down by 189 millimeters. So that's what mine is. I just realised I got a plumber's shovel. That's embarrassing.